Let's dye another disc today. I'm going to show you how I go about dyeing discs. You want to start off with something white. I have a white Star Destroyer. You can get these off of Innova's website. This is the U-dye section, I believe is what they call it. They're going to be F2 stamps. Usually you can wipe those off really quickly and then be able to, sometimes there's a little X there, but not a big deal. It usually gets covered up in the actual dye. So what we're gonna do is I have already poured in all of our clear glue. You can use school glue, it doesn't really matter what kind. And then you're gonna wanna pop the bubbles with one of these torches. Pretty cheap to pick up, but it's gonna pop any of those bubbles that are gonna be a nuisance whenever it comes time to actually have the disc done. I'm gonna use acetone as the solvent. So I usually put 2 ounces inside a glass jar using ProChem dyes. I think the best with a half of a teaspoon of dye in each one. You're gonna wanna mix it up, shake it up real well. Make sure it's nice and sealed. You don't wanna have dye going all over your office, right? And at that point, you're gonna wanna use glass droppers, get a little bit, be close to the actual bed whenever you're dropping it on there. And then you can use either like little, plastic syringe, blow kind of a different pattern or a straw, or use one of the skewers. A lot of different options there. That's what we're gonna do. I'll show you basically from now on, dropping it, creating the actual bed, and then we'll set it in here. Usually you need anywhere from 8 to 24 hours, depending on the disc plastic. For Star, you're not gonna need as much time in order to absorb a lot of the dye. For Champion plastic, you might need 24 hours. We'll experiment around with heat or no heat. I do have a heat lamp behind the camera that you can turn on just to heat it up, get the dye to stick, but sometimes that will encourage the dye to mix together and sometimes it makes the dye worse. You can only set the disc down 1 time in the dye, so please don't be too eager to pull it out. Give yourself 24 hours in order to get the best results. So let's see how this destroyer turns out. Step 1, we're gonna take our lightest color and we're gonna go with pink down the center of this dye bed. Then we're gonna throw some blue here. Accidentally dropped a little bit of blue inside the pink, but you can always throw some more pink down or whatever color you're using to fix that. Then went with a lighter shade of blue on the outside. Kind of let it sit, looked at it and realized, probably need a little bit more pink, a little bit more blue. So you can always go down with an extra layer if you don't think you've got enough dye on top of the glue bed. At this point, you don't want to throw the disc down. It's not going to look that cool. So you take a little syringe, something like that you get whenever you can get medicine for your kids or something like that in order to get these little shapes and patterns throughout the dye bed. And at this point, I was like, all right, it's looking pretty good. Hit it with a black light to look for some bubbles and using that creme brulee torch just to pop those so you don't get those white spots on the disc. I think the black light actually helps help those stand out a little bit more. And then after looking at this, I wanted a little bit more blue in there, so I added some more blue on the outside. And I'm actually super glad that I did that because this actually kind of mixed up both of the blues together. I was trying to get this to blend in a little bit, and then it had kind of patterns within just the blue, and you'll see the 2 different kind of blues intermix and create some really cool patterns whenever I pull this disc out. I'm happy with where we're at with the colors, with the pink down the middle, and we're going to let this sit for 15 minutes. Just let's see if any of the dye needs to get back to the surface before we put the disc into the bed. So we're ready to set the disc down and get this thing dyed. So we're gonna start from one edge, get ourselves centered as much as we can. For this type of a dye, it doesn't have to be perfect. And you wanna roll in at an angle to make sure the disc comes in contact without any air bubbles popping up. Okay. We are now set and time to wait. We left this one in for about 22 hours, and this one didn't really have any heat applied. This one had maybe 7 hours of heat in the Star Plastic, so it's not gonna take as much time, but let's see how this looks. Oh my God. That is so cool.
This is like way better than I thought it was gonna be. That's sick. I always used to do Floetrol dies because I thought they looked cool, but this glue bed is literally, it's something else. Like I'm gonna have to show you guys as soon as I can. Wow, so freaking happy with this. Quick look, it's still got glue on it, but wow. Okay. All right, so this was disc number 1, 22 hours with almost no heat. Check out how insane the colors came out. It didn't look like it was gonna come out that well, but I'm 17 times happier with this. This one ended up mixing this Caribbean and Sky Blue. That worked out really well. A little bit of purples where they kind of came together. Again, just like pretty much blown away. So now I'm going to hit this with a spin die. We'll wrap this one up. And here's the other one. This is the one I put more heat into just to see what the difference would be. I don't know if it like kind of made it move a little bit more or something. I mean, color-wise, I prefer this one over this one. Like this one's not bad. It's just not one that I think is like my best. I'm very much like a critic of myself when I do these dies, and this is like top 3 all-time favorite dies. Like super happy I started doing this. This one, not too bad. Maybe we'll do a giveaway on this one. This is a Wraith, and this one was a Destroyer.
So now comes the fun part of putting a spin on the bottom side of the disc. It's pretty simple to use. Same exact mixture you use for the glue bed. Just some acetone in the dye. Make sure you clean it off. I didn't clean all the glue spots off, so took some acetone there. All right, let's wrap this video up with the full reveal here. This turned out, again, better than I expected. So in the sun, it looks even better. I did spin the bottom just to kind of pull the rest of the color in here. But this was so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be coming out with a lot more a different style of dye videos, and I might sell this on eBay for a stupid number, hopefully. And again, everything goes towards my goal of owning my own disc golf property up in 2 hours north of here in Oklahoma, in the Ouachita Mountains, to build like a championship style course. That'll all be part of my YouTube journey and channel, hopefully. We've saved up several $1,000s towards this just from running a disc golf, online shop, flipping discs from replay, winning tournaments. So I love this journey. I hope you guys follow along. See you guys.